Hello everyone, my name is Carrow Brown. I am an urban fantasy author and I am here to talk about my hashtag Hold My Latte 2022. So I am totally piggybacking off of Ward's hashtag because she's very determined. She gets a lot of things done and I felt like I needed to also get things done in this coming year, and after listening to her talk about like kind of what she was going to be going over and things like that, I was like, yep, that's a bandwagon I would definitely like to jump on. And if you are curious about that, I'll put a link down to her video below and you can go check out her video and how she's doing it. But I'm going to go over how I'm doing it because obviously our living situations are a little bit different. So at the time that I am recording this, things in my life have finally kind of settled down and there's a routine, and I feel a little bit more confident about trying to push forward with things than I was before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over kind of like what it is that I'm trying to do both on my writing side, as in what I'm trying to write, and hopefully what I'll have done by the end of the year, my author branding, and some other stuff, because, you know, there's nothing like public, pressure to kind of keep you accountable. Yeah. Pull this list over. So there are a couple things that I do definitely want to at least have the manuscripts finished for this year. Publication is not something that I'm really going to be considering right now, just because I want to focus on the writing, and if I happen to get things published kind of like I did this year, then that's a bonus. If I don't, then that's just how the cookie crumbles, right? So the first project that I definitely want to have wrapped up and ready to go is going to be Cara's Tarot, which is a book about tarot cards that I have been writing for about a year, and when I say for about a year, I don't mean like I was actively writing it every day. What I did was actually start this project back in NaNoWriMo 2020, and then I got the bulk of it done during then, and then what I did was during the last NaNoWriMo is I went in and I basically fleshed out the rest of the book. And what I'm going to be doing at this point is I'm going to be proofreading it before I send it to my editor, and they told me that they were going to be taking that book the second week of January, so I have between this week and then to make sure that that is about as polished as it can get. So that's my first thing. My second goal that I have written down here is actually, so it's my work in progress called Blood in the Rain, and it's kind of been my passion project that I've been working on during 2021, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make that a Patreon only story for right now. So, and that's another goal that I'm going to touch on here in a minute, but that's my other thing that I want to get done, and then hopefully I will have that wrapped up enough to give to the editor in the fall, but that's a tentative timeline because I don't know what's going on in their life and all that other stuff. After that, there is a series that I have called Bound and Gagged. It's under my Faye Black name. And if you have actually read Dress Up, that is for the rest of the stories that follow that. I have the following covers and everything outlined. I just did not actually sit down and make time to write it. And given that these are short stories / novellas, I feel like it is completely plausible for me to sit down and just hammer it out if I make the time to do it, and that's what I'm going to do. And then after that, it's fixing Pilgrimage of the Cherry Blossom. And if you've been on my channel for a little bit, you have seen me basically talk about how the story is a complete dumpster fire and needs to be completely reworked and everything like that. And that is something that I am actually going to tackle in Q2, not Q1, because what I want to do is I want to finish Blood in the Rain, which is a pretty big manuscript, and then move on to that for two reasons. One of them being I want to have all my stuff for my patrons done, in a timely manner, and then I always find that when I get done working on one project, I need a tonal change, and so Pilgrimage of the Cherry Blossom is a big tonal change from Blood in the Rain, so I'm going to do that. And then obviously I have to finish Sparks Flying for Tamara, because I know that she really wants this story and she is just waiting for it, and I can't wait to have it written and put it out there in the world and dedicate it to her and everything else. This is just something that needs to happen this year, and it's exactly what's going to happen. And I don't want to talk about the details of Sparks Flying. That's an inside joke for the longest time, but if you know, then you know, and that's all that we need to discuss. And then after that, I'm actually on kind of like, I'm not going to lie, I'm on an erotica website, and I like to publish a short story of at least 5,000 or less words on there per month. So I've been kind of hammering away at that, and then I've been sending it to like alpha readers to get their feedback, and I will also send it to the editor. And my hope is that if I do that once a month, I'll have 12 stories, and then I'll just kind of take them down from that website and compile them together and put it on Amazon. So I'm really am trying to basically do a lot more writing than I was before. It almost feels like Millwordy in a sense, but I don't know, it feels different to me a little bit. And I need to work on my posture. That is the writing portion of what I want to be doing for the hashtag Hold My Latte 2020 to. I am going to move into the author branding a little bit more because I am very aware that I have not been around either making videos or doing live streams or being part of live streams for, well, the entire year, pretty much. The other ones that I've been part of have been the ones that I have been invited to, mostly by Tamara and Lisa Daly, and then I know there have been invites from other people in the community, and I have not been able to kind of honor those, either because my last job had me suddenly have to cover a shift or I had something else going on. What I want to try and make sure that I'm doing is at least holding my own stream on Saturday mornings, and the reason I'm picking Saturday mornings is because if something happens and I have to suddenly like get a physical job, I'm going to try and get a Monday to Friday job, which means that the only time I will be able to stream is going to be on the weekend, so I want to start doing that now versus suddenly having to change again and dealing with the algorithm. I do miss streaming on Wednesdays, but that's just not in the cards for me right now. So starting on New Year's Day, I will be streaming on Saturday mornings and trying to be around on a couple of other streams if possible, depending on what is going on in my other two jobs. So we're going to be doing that. Now, I've been trying to figure out what to actually post here on this channel, and the reason I'm having this conundrum is twofold. One, I feel like we keep saying the exact same writing advice over and over again, and yes, we're saying it our way, and we're sharing our personal experiences about how what works and doesn't work and all that stuff. But the thing is that I actually have a blog, a newsletter blog, and I'll put a link down below for that if you want to subscribe to it, where I already give this writing advice and my observations and things like that. And I'm not really in the habit of trying to do the same thing in multiple places. But I wanted to kind of like pitch the question to you guys and ask what you wanted to see. I know one of you really wants vlogs. I can't do vlogs, and the reason I can't do vlogs is because my spouse works from home and you literally can hear him through walls. And he does like some confidential stuff, and so you guys really don't need to see that. So can't do vlogs, really sorry, but unless the vlog is kind of like in the shape of like maybe a writing exercise or a writing challenge, I could probably pull that off if it's just in this room. But in terms of like going around showing you guys my house and all that other stuff, that's just not happening. So pitch those ideas, suggestions, and wants, and I will take a look and make sure that I can honor them. The one thing that I definitely know that I'm going to be doing, and I keep saying I'm going to do it, is I'm actually going to keep doing the tarot deck reviews. I actually have all these set out to do a bulk recording this coming weekend, because the one thing with these is that I know that I need to do it all at once or I'm not going to do it at all. So for those, I'm definitely going to make sure that those are going out on Tuesdays, and then I'm still going to do the monthly readings as well. And the reason that I want to actually work on making sure that I'm doing these tarot card review videos is because I have a little side gig where I do tarot card readings. And I'm trying to put that stuff up on Etsy right now, just so that way it's a little bit easier for people to like get to it and like leave reviews and things like that. Because I tried to do the website thing, didn't get a lot of traction, which is mostly my fault. But I also find that people like to do the stuff on Etsy, so if that's where the people are, then that is where I'm going to go, and that's called paying attention to your market. So I thought about actually kind of going over what the entire schedule of what I was going to be doing now with you guys, but if there's one thing that I have learned from this year, it's that I need to constantly readjust for whatever is happening. So what I've done is I've told you what I'm going to work on, but I haven't dived into what I'm going to work on just yet. And the reason I'm not doing that is because I think at this point I just need to do a monthly goal video and just kind of go over what I'm working on and when I'm working on it then, and kind of show you guys what's working and what's not working. And part of the reason I want to do that as well, I feel like that's one of my phrases, well, part of the reason, is because I want to show that it's okay to adjust your goals as needed, and also to show different methods about how to approach situations. And that way you guys can take it and see if it's something that works for you, implement it or ditch it, or share your feedback. Because I feel like when it comes to trying to get stuff done, we're kind of like in a weird hodgepodge of trying to be productive to the point where it comes at like our own like detriment. And I definitely want to portray making sure that we're doing it healthily and that we are trying to, you know, kind of explore, because I find that sometimes what happens is we see a method that works for one person, and because we see that method work for them, we try to implement it, and then we get very frustrated when we find that it doesn't work. And I am 100% okay with showing you guys that things that work for me and don't work for me right now. For example, I use Notion a lot right now. Notion is very successful for me when I work from home. When I work in an office, Notion's not very successful for me at all, because I have to integrate, because I have to interact with multiple people who don't use Notion, right? So, you know, it's one of those things. Right now, figuring that out. But yeah, so monthly goal videos to kind of go over what's working, what's not working, how I plan to tackle things. I'll also own up to things that aren't working at the time. And oh, you know what? The other reason I want to do monthly is because like even on the quarterly basis, that stuff is just like if I try to make a plan for the quarter and then I have to readjust within the first month, you know, like that's literally been my life since actually 2020. Like I've always had to constantly readjust, and then I would get frustrated and things like that. So I kind of have to take things and put it on a smaller scale. What I've done overall is I've said this is what I would like to get done for the year, and now I'm at the point where I kind of have to like break that down into weekly and daily steps. So in January, I'll have like a little video for you guys to kind of eyeball and see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Although I am trying something that I kind of want to pitch to you guys and see what you think about, and I'll put a screenshot up over here. But what I did was I actually changed my computer background to be kind of like the things that I wanted to focus on during this year or this coming month. And I don't know why I did that. I think because I saw it like as a thing in Canva, and I was like, I want to try that. So I'm going to try it and see if it just makes me feel horribly guilty or if it's actually successful. And if it is successful to constantly have it there, then I'll keep doing it. But if not, I'm going to go back to having like a black background. So yeah, but lots of writing in my future, lots of working in my future, and lots of accountability in my future. And hopefully at the end of 2022, I will have something to provide to folks. Again, I'm not focusing on actually pushing for publishing right now. If publishing happens, that's a bonus, but if it doesn't, definitely not what I'm planning for right now, although that would be super cool. But that makes me curious about what you guys are doing. Have you already gone ahead and done like your own like goal videos for the coming year? Are you avoiding it? Why are you avoiding it? Or if you don't want to make a video, like what is it that you definitely are hoping to get accomplished? Like that one thing that you want done at the end of 2022? Because I think if we really kind of like define it and what it is that we want to do and how we're going to do it, it makes it a lot easier to do outside of just kind of making motivation for it. Oh, you know, that makes, sorry, I was having a thought because one of the guilty things that I happen to do on the side is I watch like lots of different like brain hack videos about like how to like, you know, kind of channel like your best self, and not like in a planner sense, but kind of like in a, you know, activating your brain kind of thing. So maybe what I'll do also is kind of try some of those exercises, and then I'll share them with you, and if they work or if I think they're hokey, because why not? But yeah, so that is the end of my video. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and sharing your insights and your commentary down below. I do appreciate it. If you are looking to support me, I do have some works that are out if you would like to purchase those, or if you would like to be part of my Patreon, that link is down below too. Pretty much anything that I make in terms of profit goes straight to my editor so I can make more stories. So my editor is very thankful if you happen to buy anything from me because it goes straight to them. But that is going to be me, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off and work on some more videos, and I will talk to y'all again real soon. So bye!